Alrighty, so after looking at my frame for a little while, I've decided I'm going to cut this crossmember out. This is kind of structural, I guess. It's mainly support for the bed floor. The box has rails that sit here and here, and I think there's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. And then this guy here and that guy there are just extra support for the bed floor. And frame structure, like I said, being that this one is here, I don't really need this, and it's just kind of in my way for running fuel lines for after I box in the sides of the frame rails, and I just don't really like it there. So I'm gonna grind these rivets out of here, hit them out, and get this out of my way. If I need to in the future, I'll probably add like some little X braces in here. It's not a big deal to me. I think we'll be fine with this big crossmember here. Plus, I'm adding some in the back. Once this gets removed, I'm gonna have at least 2 more for the gas tank, which is on the floor there. I've brought it in the garage recently. And it's gonna add way more structure to this frame than I'll probably ever need. So I'm gonna let you hang out up here while I cut those rivets out. Crossmembers out. After cutting that crossmember out, there is one more thing that I want to do here, and that is to put a through bolt through the crossmember in the frame in the event that these welds do decide to ever fail. I ended up picking up these 1/2-inch bolts, I think. They're only grade 5, which isn't optimal, but they're what I could find in the length that I wanted. And I got some big fender washers, lock washers, and I'll end up red Loctiting the nut on so it doesn't fall off ever. And then I'll put the bolts in down this way. That way, if the nuts do ever fall off, the bolts have less chance of falling all the way out. I just need to see positioning wise where I can bolt it. I want to do as close to center as the frame rail as I can. The part that's going to limit me there is the fact that I need to reroute my fuel lines through this side to the back where I'm going to be mounting the Blazer gas tank that I have. Halfway into this frame rail might give me enough clearance. Actually, I think we'll be fine because the biggest line I gotta put through there is this guy here. And I think centered, we have more than enough room for that. I think we'll be fine. Right. I might actually set that in just a bit more. Right there. Now I'm gonna have to drill this in 2 stages here. Well, my bit's not gonna go all the way through. I'm gonna have to drill the top and the bottom. Cool. And now, with any luck, come on. Really, dude? Oh, I just ripped my pants wide open. Just go in the hole, dude. Come on. There we go. Could have been better, could have been worse. They're a little on the long side, but I think with my washer and lock washer, it'll be just fine. Oh, that thread is kind of junk, but whatever. Does this bit go all the way through? Oh, it does too. There we go. Beauty. The threads on both of these are junk. The other part I have been neglecting to cut out is the spare tire cross member. I don't need this anymore because I'm going to be putting a blazer tank in, and I can't exactly have it occupying the same space. I'll probably just end up carrying a spare tire just in the back of my box somewhere. I even have the option to tuck it inside the frame rail here. We'll see. See ya. Now see. Wow, the amount of structure this frame doesn't have is unreal. That is brutal. Yikes. That's what I was worried about, cutting all this apart. But I'm gonna be adding 2 more here for the gas tank anyways, so it should be fine. And I can box even more if I have to. Cool. All right, that cross member is all cut out. I do need to do one more thing to prep. I keep forgetting I need to cut an access hole for my fuel lines. It should be feed, return, and vent, I think. Also the rear brake light and signal wiring and the fuel pump wiring. So I need to cut a little slot in the back of my cross member here. So I'm probably gonna drill just a couple holes and open it up with a die grinder, just enough that I can fit my 3 lines in the wiring behind the bolt inside that frame rail there. I'm probably just gonna end up dropping these down, and for the time being, I'm probably gonna flare them with a union instead of running whole new lines, because they're a pain in the ass to get out of the front of the frame over here. They go inside the boxed part and they pop up out here, and I don't really have the care to get them out and replace them. So a union will be fine, or I might just butt them up and put a rubber hose on it, and if it leaks, I'll fix it in the future. It's future Alex problem. All right, so I'm just gonna take my step bit on the drill and probably drill, I don't know, 4 holes at least, up to the largest size, and repeat that on the other side and die grind it out so there's a nice slot, and then I can run my lines through. Oh, this bit is dull. Let's see if this one does any better. Mildly. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. Maybe the step bits weren't the best idea. This might work if I can get some leverage on it. Oh yeah. That's not dulling bits at all, is it? There we go. That actually wasn't that bad. 3, 4. Yeah, I think 4 half-inch bits will be good. Because yeah, the biggest line I need to fit through there is 3/8, and then I have a 5/16 and a 1/4 inch, and then 2 plugs. So I think we'll be good. All right, whatever. Don't worry, that's only gonna look disgusting for a little bit. I'm gonna drill the other side off camera just to save you the pain of watching me do that again. All right, well, drilling the second side went a lot easier. Got 4 holes a little straighter. Now I can come in here with a die grinder and take all this excess metal out so I just have a nice slot. All right, time to make some noise and a mess. Now I don't have a very strong air compressor, so this is gonna take me a while. Yeah, I'm gonna turn my GoPro off for this because I don't want to have like an hour of footage, so I'll be back when this is done. Alrighty, that looks pretty damn good actually. Alright, look at that. That actually turned out really good. I ended up finding a reamer bit in my toolbox that I didn't know about. These are usually meant for aluminum because the flutes don't get clogged up, but it works good for steel apparently. I'm gonna do the other side and see how we go. So because my air compressor takes so long to build up, I've been resorting to these little files. Just getting in here and cutting the in-between parts out so I can come with the die grinder and just clean up the whole hole afterwards. It's a pain in the ass, but it's what I have to work with. Yeah, this takes a while, but well. All right, so after a little bit of swearing, it's now done. And it turned out really good. I got a nice slot on this side, and it goes all the way through to the other side. So that's gonna allow me to run my new fuel lines through once I get these ones cut and joined onto them. Of course, before I can run the lines, I need to figure out just what I'm gonna do with the gas tank. All right, so I'm just gonna get the jack stuff under here for right now. Just pick it up a little bit. And I'm gonna go grab the gas tank. This tank was out of a 1994 Bravada, a first-gen Bravada that is, and it had a 4.3 with the spider injection, so it's already got the higher pressure fuel pump they're gonna need to run this engine properly. Now, right about there is pretty damn level with the top of the frame. Right there is pretty good. And I have it as far back as I can realistically get it. It's almost centered. Let's roll the jack a bit. There. So this is pretty much where I want it to sit. These are the factory straps out of the Bravada that go on the bottom to hold the tank up. That's not bad. That's not a good idea. So these guys, they tuck under here nicely, right into these ridges on the bottom. I actually need to move the tank forward a bit. Oh, there we go. So with the tank sitting like that, so this strap is going to sit something like this. Well, if you look really closely, that's almost parallel to the bottom of the frame rail there. Now it's got me wondering, I do have a convenient piece of steel. The piece I used to mock up my front crossmember originally, it is the exact width of the frame. I can use it for now. Just gonna tuck it back in here nicely. Perfect. And you can see here just how nice that tank is gonna sit with the top of the frame rail. The lines are just a bit lower than the highest point over there where I think the bed floor sits, so we're gonna be good. It's got me curious. If it lines up just perfectly, I think I might weld a piece of steel in just like this. Okay, so how does this guy fit in here? Kind of like that. Ooh, that's gonna work perfect. Look at that. Yeah, I can work with that. Awesome. I'm gonna clamp this thing in place because I think that's gonna work perfectly, actually. All right. Okay, so I quite like the way those straps lined up there. I'm just gonna mark back here where they're gonna go, and then I'm gonna clamp them to here as well to see how it's gonna sit. Let's just get this thing out of here for now because it's gonna piss me off. Still like a third of a tank of gas in this thing. It weighs a ton. All right. I think that'll be good enough for mock-up. Hey, look at that. That's actually not bad at all. Height-wise, it's actually sitting a little too high. I'll have to bend these straps a bit. Actually, the jack's not even holding that up. That is the straps. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's gonna work so perfectly. Holy crap. Oh, that's gonna work so good. Look at that, that's badass. I just need another member up front here to bolt these two and something around the top to keep it secure. So you know what, I think that's perfect. Yeah, look at that, that's sweet. So you can see it's sitting right on the straps, and then right there's hitting the jack. So I don't need this here right now. Look at that. That's a Blazer gas tank installed. Kinda. This is just gonna be rough mock-up. So I'm thinking what I'll do here is probably get another piece that will, much like the one on the back there, just kind of weld to the frame and then drop down a little bit to catch these guys that I can bolt them to, and I think that's gonna be tank mounted. This is gonna be way easier than I thought it was. Badass.